everyone. Hello, and welcome to Leadership Insight, where today we are going to do a quick deep dive into surviving toxic leadership, a narcissistic boss. And I am sure there are some of you out there that are raising their hands right now, and you're like, yes, this is on time, this is on point. And trust me, if you are not here one day, unfortunately, you probably will be here. And that's okay because this is going to be a great resource. So, again, today we are going to talk about that crucial topic of surviving a toxic leadership, particularly when we're talking about a narcissistic boss. And in this session, it's really designed to equip you with some practical strategies to maintain your well being and effectiveness in challenging work environments. Realistically, this session is for leaders. This session is for everyone. Even if you do not have a supervisory, managerial, executive level, any of those types of titles, it is okay because this session is for everyone. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And so, our 2 points that we are going to cover for today is going to be please recognize the signs, and then I want you to be able to protect your boundaries. And so, understanding and navigating toxic leadership is essential for anyone in general, and especially when you are aspiring to lead effectively. Toxic behaviors, such as those that are exhibited by a narcissistic boss, can really undermine the team's entire morale. It's going to hinder productivity, and it also impacts organizational culture negatively. And as leaders, it's so crucial to recognize these dynamics so that you can be able to mitigate their effects and foster a healthier work environment. And trust me when I tell you, regardless of what is going on above you or around you in the culture of your particular workplace dynamics, it does not mean that you, ma'am, you, sir, cannot still foster a healthy or at least a healthier work environment for the people that you serve and for those who are saying, you know what, I just am a teammate. You can also help to foster a good team environment, even on your own, without being called supervisor, leader, manager, or any of those types of things. Our first point for today is recognize the signs. So, what do you need to know to survive? That's it. You need to be able to recognize the signs of toxic behavior. That is what's going to be crucial in you protecting yourself in this challenging type of work environment. Narcissistic bosses often exhibit manipulative behaviors such as gaslighting, and that's making you doubt your own perceptions or your sanity. When you're sitting there walking around like, oh, did they just say, was that manipulation? And I also need you to recognize whatever environment you grew up in. Some of us did not grow up in healthy environments. And so, if you're one of those people that maybe you didn't grow up in the healthiest environment, it is important to understand these manipulative type of behaviors. And so, for you, if you don't know, and if you're sitting there second guessing and question, I'm going to always recommend that you reach out to someone, that you reach out to a therapist, that you reach out to a coach, someone that can help you to see some of these behaviors are not natural. And some of you are taking non natural behaviors and taking them and running with them as they're natural, and they are not. And that's why we do a lot of talk about values and what do you stand for and knowing who you are. Because if you know who you are, what you stand in, some of these things you can start to spot a mile away. But definitely manipulative behavior, such as gaslighting. When we're talking about micromanaging excessively, not your typical micromanager where someone maybe is checking up at the end of the day. We're talking about they just gave you a project and they turned around 5 minutes later, and then it's 2 hours later, and then perhaps it's 3 and 4 and your whole day, you found yourself responding to your boss and not getting your work because the micromanaging has been excessive. So that's important to be able to define what's kind of a normal micromanaging type of situation, or is it super excessive? Or think about when we're talking about using intimidation tactics to control and manage it. Now, this is going to be a little controversial because I'm going to tell you, if you bang your fist on a desk, I'm going to look at you a little bit suspect and I'm going to start watching and listening. Now, there are people out here who bang their fists on the desk, and for some strange reason, they think it's professional and they are not narcissistic, okay? So just know this, but I'm telling you, these are things that you really do have to start to pay attention and deem. What do you consider normal? What's the culture's norm? Or is this a little bit more? Do I see a little bit more into this? So definitely, we're talking about you need to pay attention to intimidating tactics, and that's for them to maintain control of you, of the situation. They also may display a lack of empathy. They prioritize their needs. It's not about you. If you notice, it'll never be about you. It's about them and their own needs over anything else. And if you notice, sometimes they can really seek constant admiration and validation. They need to always know that they are the person, that they are the head, that they are the man, if you will, and that could be a man or a woman. And so they are the head person. So understanding these types of behaviors will help you to avoid taking things, first of all, personally, because if you're dealing with a narcissistic boss, you are bumping your head against the wall. They are not. You have to remember their thought process is totally different from yours. And if you sit there and just try to get them to understand, you try to get them to have empathy for you, listen, you are wasting your time. So understanding these behaviors is going to be key because I need you to be able to maintain a clear perspective on the dynamics at play. It's going to allow you to anticipate potential problems, and it also will help you to prepare responses without compromising your integrity or your well-being. Now, our second point is protect your boundaries. Once you recognize toxic behavior, establishing and maintaining boundaries becomes essential. We've done several leadership insights around boundaries. And if this is something that you struggle with, I definitely will encourage you to go back and watch some of those different leadership insights because it's going to be crucial in this circumstance that you know how to set boundaries and maintain so that you can protect your boundaries. And so, again, when we're talking about toxic behavior, establishing, maintaining boundaries becomes essential. Boundaries are about defining what's acceptable and what's an unacceptable treatment from your boss, from your colleagues. Listen, you can say from your friends and from your family. This includes setting limits on how you're spoken to, the workload that you can manage, and the level of respect that you expect. Assertiveness sometimes is going to be key in communicating these boundaries effectively, especially in a toxic work environment. Practice, listen, and especially my women out here. You've heard this, and I'm going to say it just like you've heard. No is a complete sentence. Some of you still struggle with the word no and telling people no. So start now. Practice it at home. Practice it with your children. Practice it with your spouse, with your partner, with your family, with your friends. Practice saying no. If you practice saying no in a more comfortable environment, maybe at home, it will translate when you show up at work when it's uncomfortable for you. Please get in the habit of practicing no. So practice saying no when necessary and assert your needs calmly but firmly. And there's a difference between you asserting them calmly and yet you can still be firm. Maintain professionalism while standing your ground, ensuring that you protect your time, your mental space, your emotional energy from the negative impacts of toxic behavior, you are the only one. There are going to be people around you that are going to try to assist and help you maintain your peace and all of that good stuff. But let me tell you, ma'am, you are the one that needs to protect your own peace. And part of that, you will do that when you set these boundaries. Additionally, you also can seek support from a trusted colleague, maybe a mentor, maybe a coach, maybe an HR professional. If the situation escalates and becomes unbearable, I'm always going to say, don't take this alone. Don't stand in it alone. And definitely, if necessary, get a coach, get someone that can assist you during these times. Documenting incidents can also be helpful for maintaining clarity and potentially addressing the issue if you need to do it in a more formal manner. If you document them, I'm going to say document them on your personal devices, not necessarily your work devices, because you'd be surprised. People looking through your emails. Okay, you heard it from me. I've seen plenty people go through plenty of emails. So document them on your own computer. Oh, let me give you a third one for free. I need you to also preserve your energy. Understand that sometimes you cannot reason with a toxic individual. Now, if you're a therapist, if you are someone who specializes in narcissistic people, then go ahead, do what you do, boo. However, for most of us, I'm going to tell you sometimes you just can't reason with them. So stop trying. Stop. Protect your energy. Some people thrive on conflict and they're going to feed off of your frustration. So when they see you, oh, their insides are tingling because they're excited because they got you. Stop giving your power away. Stop giving your power away to energy suckers, okay? Stop it. Instead, focus on maintaining your composure, redirect your energy towards productive endeavors, and seek positive interactions that uplift and support growth. And so, by recognizing toxic behavior, you can go ahead, set those boundaries, maintain those boundaries, and preserve your energy. You empower yourself to navigate challenging work environments more effectively. This resilience is not only going to preserve your well being, but it's also going to strengthen your leadership capabilities as you learn to manage even more difficult situations than the one you're dealing with now or the one you may be dealing with in days or months or years to come. Let's go ahead and wrap up. Today, we discussed the importance of navigating toxic leadership with the focus on dealing with a narcissistic boss. By recognizing the signs of toxic behavior and protecting your boundaries, you are going to be able to maintain your peace and your effectiveness at work. Leadership is about resilience and adaptability in challenging situations. By applying these strategies, you can thrive despite whatever challenging thing may be happening right now. Please do not forget to like and subscribe from whatever platform you are watching us from. Join me next week for more incredible insights. You deserve nothing but the best. It's my goal to ensure that you move to your next level. Let's take your career to new heights together.